Even with all even with all the RINO support in the Senate, the votes were just never going to be there, okay? Everybody who is going to vote along with the Democrats in order to push forward this January 6th worthless commission, even with all that support, it fucking still came up short. And the list of people, you already knew them. I listed them off. Mitt Romney, Ben Sass, Murkowski, Collins, Cassidy, Portman. They all voted with Democrats, okay? Guess what that added up to? 54 to 35. Sounds like a lot of people were missing. Well, a fuckload of people were missing. Additional other RINOs, Pat Toomey, Dick Burr, two guys that couldn't be fucking asked to serve out the last, I don't know, a few months of their term because they're both retiring at the onset of the 2022 midterm elections. So yeah, I guess just ride it out. But what we're going to do here is we're going to be doing a little compare and contrast, because what I got here is the right centrist opinion, one of those, and then we got CNN's unhinged opinion on that. But we'll give you the facts first, and then we'll see how everybody else is responding to it. I think that'll be fun, because really there's not a lot of stuff here, because honestly this commission is fucking retarded, if I could find a apt description of it. It's because, okay, there's already been several probes into this, maybe not an official congressional approved one, even though there was kind of a subsection of what happened when it comes to the whole dog and pony show that was the second impeachment effort. That pretty much served as a insurrection commission, and they couldn't find fuck all, and they rushed their proceedings there. So what, they want another fucking gimme? They want a mulligan on this? No, I don't think so. Not at the expense of, what, the intelligence department, at the taxpayer money that you're already just handing out by the bucket loads. Like, there's better places to spend that money, which we'll have to get into later in the day. And then intelligence assets that are going to be necessary if, say, you're going to be launching a probe into a certain lab on the other side of the globe. I think that'll be a little bit more important than figuring out who broke a couple of windows. But here are the facts. Senate Republicans on Friday blocked advancing a House-passed bill that would form a 9/11-style commission to investigate the January 6th Capitol breach. Senators voted 54 to 35 on the measure, falling short of the 60-vote threshold to avoid a filibuster. Sucks to suck. And just for posterity's sake, Republican Senators Mitt Romney, Ben Sass, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, Bill Cassidy, and Rob Portman all joined the Democrats in voting on the measure. Other than Portman, the 6 GOP senators all voted to convict former President Donald Trump during his second impeachment trial. Which, what was the entire impetus of setting up that impeachment? Oh, right, something that you want to rediscover again. Anyways, Republican Senators Pat Toomey and Richard Burr, who voted to convict Trump during the trial, did not cast votes in favor of the January 6th commission because they couldn't be fucking asked to show up along with 9 other senators, 11 in total. The key vote came down the day after Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said on the Senate floor he urged his caucus not to support the legislation and suggested it was merely a partisan effort from Democrats. I actually agree with Mitch on this one, even though his phrasing and his verbiage is normally pretty off. He's kind of on the mark on this one. McConnell in his speech highlighted that there is a number of investigations into the January 6th incident and that it's already underway, including one by the Department of Justice, and that has resulted in more than 400 arrests, and one by the Capitol Police Department, and everything else that has gone on. We pretty much got, well, it's not even pretty much, we have definitive answers as to everybody who died that day, and in the hours after everything happened, we have causes of death. We have conclusions to their stories, to various levels of satisfaction. Ashley Babbitt will never get her justice, but everybody else has been accounted for. So what the fuck were the Democrats going to be searching for? Anything that they can drag up Orange Man bad for. I do not believe this extraneous commission that Democrat leaders want would uncover crucial new facts or promote healing, frankly. I do not believe that it is designed to do, said Mitch. And that's why he added Nancy Pelosi issued a first draft of the bill that began with a laughably rigged and partisan starting point, and why the current language would still lock in significant unfairness under the hood. Obviously, we know what kind of hoods Democrats like, but anyways, he continued, obviously, the role of the former president has been litigated exhaustively, on a high-profile impeachment trial we had here in the Senate several months ago. Yeah, but for Democrats, that's ancient history. Then you got a little blurb from Kevin McCarthy, who we will be talking about later as well, because I can't stand this snake either. He urged GOP lawmakers not to support it, and 11 or 15 House Republicans, I have their names written down, and we don't need to go over them, just the senators that are going to be coming up, because a whole host of them are going to be up for election, and ripe primary targets for 2022 in the, coming months at this point. Oh, and let's get parting words from Chuck Schumer, shall we? If our Republican friends vote against this, what are you afraid of? The truth? Are you afraid of Donald Trump's big lie will be dispelled? No, you didn't find any evidence the first time, and I think that there's better uses of our resources. So it's not a binary choice such as that, Chuck. Thanks for your fear-mongering, but I think we're going to be moving on. And unfortunately, we got to move on to what Chuck Schumer and his people would actually be thinking about this. What is CNN's write-up? Because as we've seen, we got the relatively unbiased opinion. We just basically got the facts, okay, and a couple of talking points from the Senate Minority Leader, the House Minority Leader, and who voted on what. So let's see the partisan take on this, shall we? From an outlet that has lost over 70% of their viewership since Biden has took office, CNN, House Democrats are actively considering mounting a probe of their own into the January 6th U.S. Capitol attack, signaling that they don't plan to let the issue go away in the aftermath of the Senate Republicans derailing the creation of an outside commission to probe the deadly insurrection. You just gotta love that entire run-on sentence that they have there, because, okay, in the previous article, what did they list it as? Okay, it was a Capitol breach, and in CNN, it was both an insurrection and an attack. They just love to grab you with that spicy language that's really, saying that it's a deadly insurrection. Will you elaborate on that further? No. The answer's no. The answer's no. Speaker Pelosi has made clear repeatedly that moving to create a select committee has always remained a fallback option, something that would require the support of the majority of the Democrat-led House to create, and a number of Democrats said on Friday that they believe Pelosi will indeed create a new committee and that the caucus would strongly support such an effort. So what was with this entire dog and pony show? Oh, it's almost like Democrats can do whatever they want and they just continue to push whatever shit they can in order to get potentially smacked down later. It's almost like figuring out how much shit you can get away with in order to just pull back and then recast that line ad nauseum. Different levels that they keep trying. Representative Joaquin Castro, a Texas Democrat who served as an impeachment manager in former President Donald Trump's second trial. Will they tell us what that second impeachment was about anyways? Nope, of course not. Said the Senate should pass a bill creating an outside commission. Why? However, in the event that it fails, the Congress should create a select committee to fully investigate the causes and consequences of the insurrection on January 6th. You still like to perpetrate your own big lie, though, don't you there, Joaquin? If the House creates such a panel, it would give Democrats the power to issue subpoenas and schedule hearings and drive an investigation into the causes of the attack and Trump's role behind it. That's president to you, asshole. And it would prompt a backlash from Republicans who are already trying to paint such an effort as a partisan endeavor. Well, you guys just did that by saying it would give Democrats power, even if they didn't get the votes necessary in the Senate. But you know what? Hey, fine, whatever. Despite their own role in scuttling a bipartisan outside panel composed of 10 commissioners equally divided between the two parties. Okay, what is that supposed to prove? You already did your searches. You haven't even waited for the Department of Justice to turn up with what they have. If you want to launch another stupid investigation, wait for your own partisan outfit, the Department of Justice, to figure out what the fuck happened. Or are you just so concerned about what's not going to come out of that report that you're just going to go ahead and continue to push this as far and long and as loud as you can? But everybody who's still even remotely paying attention to this stuff, doesn't give a fuck. And the narrative that you guys are trying to push over here, it's really holding less than no weight. Every time a new video comes out, every time a new security footage angle comes out, it's never flattering to your side. It's a police officer saying, as long as you guys are going to be peaceful, go on ahead. Don't worry about it. Just don't knock over the velvet rope. And they're like, okay, fine, that's great. Or another closed circuit video feed that shows people cleaning up with trash bags, picking up any litter that fell on the ground. Real fucking insurrectionists, guys. I know I was shaking in my boots. Pelosi's office would not discuss her plans, but the California Democrat has repeatedly indicated her preference would be a double, please. I'm sorry, would be to create a bipartisan outside commission. Again with this bipartisan shit. See, it's bipartisan when we overwhelmingly want to vote for something, okay, and we need your support in order to pass this, okay, because it wouldn't be an investigation into the role that Nancy Pelosi played in order to find out if she did, in fact, call down the Capitol Hill Police Department that day, or also made calls into the Department of Justice, or Department of Defense, rather, after the insurrection happened, in order to take away military capacity from Donald Trump, who was still the president at the time. No, they wouldn't investigate any of that stuff. They'd be like, can you go over Donald Trump's speech again? And I was like, okay, there's nothing wrong in there. No, you have to go over it again. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, here's 2 stacks. That's all they would find. Oh, and then CNN got their token Republican to speak out on this one. Without this commission, there will still be an investigation, said Senator Bill Cassidy, a Louisianan Republican who voted with 5 other Senate Republicans. God, you guys won't even bother listing them. I mean, everybody knows who they are anyways. To bring the measure forward for debate. But it will be a House Select Committee set up by Speaker Pelosi, the nature of which will be dictated by Democrats and would stretch on for years. Yeah, it would probably culminate, I don't know, probably somewhere around, summer of 2024? Probably somewhere around there. That's just what I'm thinking. Now, it's funny to watch them cry over their failed effort. I'm sure probably next week or within, about a month or so, they're going to try to jump across to something different in order to the smoldering ashes of outrage on this and try to ignite something else. Who knows what it could be? Or they'll just come back and it's like, we're going to have another committee and here's another bill to pass through in order to just keep kicking this on down the road. But it was dead on arrival when it was announced. And yeah, now after the vote came through, you just didn't have the votes. And nobody's into wasting a whole bunch of taxpayer money, even more so than what this government is already doing. So, speaking of wasting money, we got to talk about this budget that's coming out. And it's got some interesting things in it. One big issue, but you know what? Hey, you should know this was what the Democrats were going to do, right? See how much they could get away with in order for the courts to potentially later strike it down. With that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.